So because of the actions we've taken to address the Putin price hike, we are in a better place than we were last month. But we expect March CPI headline inflation to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike. And we expect a large difference between core and headline inflation, reflecting the global disruptions in energy and food markets. So core inflation doesn't include energy and food prices. Headline inflation does. And of course, we know that core inflation, energy, the impact of energy, of course, on oil prices, gas prices, we expect that to continue to reflect what we've seen the increases be over the course of this invasion.
U.S. inflation reported up to 8.5%, the highest in 40 years, the highest since the 70s and 80s. And if that's the number that they're admitting, you can only imagine what the actual number is. Now, how does this affect you? How does this affect Americans? How does this affect workers? Your food, your energy costs are going through the roof. We've been talking about it for so long here, but this administration has no plan whatsoever in sight. What's their plan? You asked them, we heard it yesterday from Psaki. Their plan is to blame Vladimir Putin for their own policies. He's fighting a war in Ukraine. That has nothing to do with the United States, other than the fact that it is obviously a U.S. and Western proxy war against Russia. I mean, they're just kind of overtly doing that at this point. You used to have this, veneer of covert action about it when it was Afghanistan and Charlie Wilson and all that. Now it's just kind of out in the open. But when it comes to this administration, when it comes to the money printing, here's my TED Talk on this. You can't keep printing infinite money and handing it out to your buddies at BlackRock and not expect massive inflation in prices for working class people and working class families. You're going to be crushed by this administration, and they're going to keep doing it. The dollars keep rolling off the money printer. And keep in mind that it's all electronic now. They don't even actually have to print these dollars in many of these cases. They just go and say, oh, we're taking more on. We're taking more onto the Fed's balance sheet. We're taking more on. Ron Paul was exactly right when it came to the Fed and when it came to inflation. He was exactly right. Inflation is a tax, and it is the most evil of taxes because it taxes the money that you already have in your bank account. So every time you get paid, every time you get a paycheck, you might see the same numbers, but the value of those dollars is going down week after week after week while we're in a period of economic decline. It's called stagflation, ladies and gentlemen. You may have heard that one, stagflation. And this is by our own design, by the way. Now, the entire mainstream media is running out there right now, and you're seeing little pockets of people actually telling the truth and admitting that these numbers were skyrocketing long before any Russians ever crossed the border from Crimea into Ukraine. But no. They're saying that it's based on Vladimir Putin. We know what it's based on. When the king is handing out the gold, the high lords closest to the throne benefit at the expense of the peasants furthest away. And guess what we are? We're the peasants. We're the people who don't benefit from the money printing. The money printing goes to BlackRock, and they get to use it to enforce these ESGs, which Peter Thiel called out as completely evil recently. He's right about that. What's going on is very clear. It's a scam. It's always been a scam. They don't care about you. They don't care about your prices going up. Klaus Schwab in Davos, coming up in just a couple of weeks, Switzerland. He calls it the Great Reset. How's the Great Reset working out for you? How's the Great Reset working out for your family? I guess because it's Lent this year, President Biden just announced that all Americans will be giving up driving, grocery shopping, and spending money in general. It's Bidenflation. Call it what it is. We've known from the start that's what's happening.